Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. Let's fly straight into it. I'm not going to avoid this subject at all. I do want to talk about Ed Woodward. I'm going to talk about it because it's very easy to be critical. There's a lot of things I want to talk about. First of all, actually, I want to know what I really want to talk about. I think everybody else wants to talk about it as well. Is this absolute nonsense that's going on around at the moment from bitter fans who just think, well, you know, we're not really, nobody else really wanted Paul Pogba. Real Madrid didn't want Paul Pogba. I just want to say something. 2 weeks ago, Zinedine Zidane did a press conference basically officially saying that they would love Paul Pogba at Real Madrid. But you've got Real Madrid videos. If you've seen my Winter is Coming video, go and watch it after this. Brilliant, really enjoyed it. Lots of good feedback. There's a few Real Madrid haters on there saying, we never wanted Pogba. We don't need him. We've got Isco. We've got bloody, what's his name, Modric and Kroos and everybody else like that. Believe what you like. Your manager came out and said he wanted him. He's the marquee signing of the summer, which is what Real Madrid normally wants. And you didn't get him. And you didn't get him because you couldn't afford him. That's as simple as it gets. Deal with it. And I need them glasses on. You know what I mean? But deal with it. Just deal with it. Take your pie, like every other club in the world has had to do with you lot for the last decade or two. Take your humble pie. Go and sit in the corner. Have a siesta, like I keep telling you, and shut up because you didn't get Pogba. You wanted Pogba like everybody else, and you lost. Manchester United have won. A few people said, "Why are you gloating about it?" Whoa! Why not? Why not gloat about it? Why not gloat about it? We have pulled off an absolute superb signing, world transfer record, no Champions League, ex-player we never should have let go of. Absolutely superb signing that we've made, and why should we not gloat about it? I'm gloating about it. I don't care what anybody says. Don't care what anybody says. I'm going to gloat about this because it's not every day that you do this in your life as a fan of a club like Manchester United, break the world transfer record. The world transfer record. It's been dominated by Real Madrid and Barcelona for so long, and we've broken it, and it's absolutely superb, and we should be really proud about it. But as I was saying there, before we go back to that and take some of your comments, also want to say Ed Woodward deserves some credit on this show, and I think on a lot of Manchester United fans, in fairness, been very critical of Ed Woodward. I think still some fans might be. What stands out to me really clearly is the fact that what he's got now is a manager who knows the transfer system and people around that manager who know the transfer system. And Woodward, very experienced taking on from David Gill. I think he was a bit like a virgin in a pawn shop. He was going for absolutely everything. Fabregas, Neymar, everybody. He wanted it and he didn't know how to do it. When it came down to it and they offered themselves to him, he was like running off. He doesn't know what to do. I'm out of my depth. Mourinho comes in and he's like that porn star. Take him off the shop shelf. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. This is how you do it, Ed. And it's worked fantastically well. The great thing is, however long Jose is here, and I think he will be here a long time, Woodward over this summer has learnt so much. We know he's a good businessman at getting the noodle deals and stuff like that, but he's learnt how to actually buy players this summer, and he's learnt because of Jose. And that is one of the things I want to say. Well done to Manchester United as a club, to Ed Woodward. I think Jose deserves a massive pat on the back because he's the one who's transformed Woodward from somebody who was a laughing stock to somebody everyone's standing up and going, wow. And he's been a key part of that. So he deserves some applause. Zlatan, Pogba, Mkhitaryan, we would have been happy with one of those. Let's be honest. We would have been happy with one of those. From the last few transfer windows, we would have been absolutely ecstatic. So to get three and Bailly as well is just unprecedented. It's fantastic business, and nobody would have thought it would ever have happened with the way we've been in the past. But I really do think a lot of it, we don't want to dwell on the past. We want to be positive, and I am very positive. But we want to be positive about what now is with Jose. But I think, you've got to look at Van Gaal. He didn't want Renato Sanchez, and he didn't want Pedro last year. I know Pedro didn't do that well at Chelsea. And what went wrong with Ramos, we do not know. With Moyes, he was overcritical about, we could have got Thiago on count, but he went to Bayern Munich. That was Moyes' fault again. So I really do think that Woodward does deserve a lot of credit, and I think a lot of that is now down to Jose. And you know what? I think we've actually got a good chief executive now who has learned what to do in the transfer market, and that is a great thing. As somebody said today, I put a tweet out from about a month ago where we were saying, the Pogba deal will be done. He will come to Manchester United. What do you lot think? And over 70% were like, no, it won't be done. And a lot of people tweeted back when I tweeted it out today saying, I'm so pleased it happened and the positivity of this channel, etc. But I think it's quite nice for you lot who were negative about it, not negative in a bad way, but you didn't think it was going to happen, because the way you're feeling now must be fantastic. I mean, I've been relaxed that it will happen for about a month. So I'm over the moon it's happened. But for those who probably, really were getting uptight about it, the only thing for me is Real Madrid. It's not a secret. You see it in the winter is coming video I did earlier on. I've got no love for Real Madrid. I don't like them. I don't like their fans, the way they boo their legends. I don't like the way they have a player for a very short period of time, then they throw them away for somebody new. I just don't like Real Madrid. It's arrogant. And, whether it's gloating or not, it's nice to go, come on, who wants to, it's like Monopoly when you've got all the money. Who wants to come and have a go? Who's going to have a come and go? And the brilliant thing about this deal is we've not snicked in the back door and just pulled the deal off. It's been well known for a month that Manchester United are going to get Paul Pogba. And there's been lots of opportunities for any of the big clubs to come in and try and do anything about it. And the reality is Man City, Real Madrid, Barcelona, anybody else have not had a sniff, because Man United have just punched them on the nose and said, get out, get out, get out. Go and buy your rubbish from Brazil or whatever like that, because you're not having Paul Pogba. And that's the superb thing about Manchester United. MEFC Jonathan says, when will it be announced? I don't know. I don't know when it's going to be announced. I went for 8 o'clock tonight. Some people are saying 9 o'clock. We'll be on air for that if it happens. But, Droid Devil said 6 o'clock. So I've won now because it's gone past 8 o'clock, but it's closer to me. But I think Jose wanted him in training tomorrow, because we'll be in training tomorrow after a day off. So let's wait and see what happens at 9 o'clock tonight. Maybe it'll be first thing tomorrow morning and then he'll go training. I do not know, is the honest answer. All I can tell you is what I've known for a few weeks is that Pogba will be coming to Manchester United. And it's a nice feeling that has happened for sure. But we will see when it actually happens. Sully Tube says, Fellaini bye-bye. Not convinced about that. Glory, who do you think? Says it'll be announced tomorrow morning. I'm afraid he'll fail the medical, says Kieran Collins. There's always negativity, isn't he? He's not going to fail his medical. Gaelic Elvis says it'll be 9 p.m. tonight. Well, let's hope we're all together, the United Stand Army, at 9 o'clock when it's officially announced. That would be absolutely brilliant for you and for us, who've been saying for so long that it's going to happen. I mean, how many people have we had coming on here saying clickbait for a month when we've been saying it's a done deal? I don't think people understand what done deals are. If your interpretation that a done deal is when it's official, then you're going to have a very boring life when it comes to signing players, because we said that Van Gaal was sacked 2 days before it was official. We said Jose was going to be the manager a week before it was official. Bailly was 2 or 3 days. Mkhitaryan was 2 or 3 days before. Zlatan was 2 or 3 days before. And with Pogba, we've been weeks ahead, because a done deal in the way the United Stand does things is when the player is going to sign for Manchester United. And the reality is, with the Pogba deal, it's been sorted out with Raiola, Pogba and Manchester United for a long time. And that Adidas advert demonstrates that. But it has been. The thing that's held it up is he's been on holiday. He's now back from holiday, so he will get signed. And also sorting out the deal with Juventus. But that was never going to be an issue, because we are breaking the world transfer record for him. And the reality is that deal between the club, the agents and United was pretty much agreed, I believe, over a month ago. But Joe Dar says, like Embolo. Joe, what? I'm more than happy to take your comments about Embolo. We got 1 wrong out of 6 over the summer. And if you can tell me, other than Dimarcio, who's got it 100% right for Manchester United, not just this summer, ever, I'll take an over an 80% percentage being right any day of the week, because I tell you what, it's 70% better than the Sun, the Mirror and the Daily Star. So, we've been pretty much right. I would shout out the people who give us the information, but they don't want us to do it. And so that's great. But we have been right. And for those who think it's not just transfers, at the weekend, an hour before the team lineup came out, the tweets there, Lingard and Fellaini will start. So do you think we're just guessing? Because if we're guessing, I'm going to go and put a bet on the lottery on Saturday night, because it's beyond that. But, there we go. We get some things, most things right. We get told things. And occasionally we'll get things wrong, like Embolo, which I put my hands up to. We did get it wrong, but there you go. Rashford is better than Embolo, you're right. Dab. I ain't dabbing. I'm dabbing when Fellaini goes, and that's the end of that. Jay Daly says, finally, we've got a box-to-box midfielder who's like Roy Keane. I do want to talk a little bit about what Pogba will bring, because I think that's really important. But I also want to take your lot's thoughts, because, you know, you've been with us for the last month, most of you, and I think it's important what you think Pogba will bring. And I personally think he is going to be that number. He'll probably wear number 6, won't he? But he will be that number 8, box to box. The link between the defensive midfielder and the number 10. He's very good at taking players on. I don't know whether a lot of people have said that. I keep saying that. He's very good at taking people on. He's fast. He's strong. He's got very good skill for a very tall person at 6'3". Obviously, he's good in the air because of his height. Unlike Fellaini, who's tall, who's crap in the air. But he will bring others into the play. He will dictate the play. He will give us some tempo. I think it's really important that we get Mkhitaryan in this team very soon and we start feeding Martial and Zlatan, because with Pogba in the midfield and a decent defensive midfielder behind him, we've got a very, very exciting attacking side that is going to cause a lot of people a lot of fear. It's a shame that he probably won't be involved against Bournemouth on Sunday unless we can get him training tomorrow. There's an outside chance. I disagree with what Alex said last night, that his first game will be City, which is a month away. I don't know what training Alex does, but this is a professional footballer. He's been on holiday, but he's not been on the pies for a month. He will be match fit pretty soon. Probably not Bournemouth, but I think for the following Friday against Southampton, he could make his debut against there. So we'll just have to wait and see. Is the market over for United, says Jeff and Jose? No, somebody tweeted me about that before today. I don't think it is over. I really do think we'll sign Fabinho at right back. Very good comment about Valencia. There was a bit, I do read your comments on the video, and there was a few people thinking I was being negative about Valencia. I'm not negative about Valencia. I'm just consistent. He's not a right back. He's a right winger trying his best to be a right back. He's created 4 goals in like 2 or 3 pre-season games, which is more than he's done in the last 2 seasons. So Jose's obviously improved that side of his game, and he's putting decent crosses in that Zlatan can get on the end of. So that's great. But his positional sense as a right back is a massive, massive concern. I'll be amazed if Jose goes with him as right back for the whole season, because he will cost us some goals. I think Valencia should be playing on the right wing. I don't know what anybody else thinks. I mean, he's doing a decent job there. Right back, I think he will get exposed. So I think Fabinho is likely, because it doesn't look like it's going to be Darmian. I do think we need a centre-back, but I don't know whether we'll definitely go and sign one. Arsenal have had another defender injured, haven't they? So they're probably going to go and get Manolas themselves, Arsenal, to be honest, because they've got a few people out now. But I'm going to go for, I think he's going to go with, Billy, who I get on with on Twitter. We have a little bit of bants. He was saying you should do a Daley Blind appreciation show tonight because he's proved everybody wrong. I want Daley Blind to stay. I think he's a really good utility player, but you won't win the title with Daley Blind as a centre-back. And I don't care what anybody says. I think if somebody wants Daley Blind to play centre-back, then his limit is going to be somebody like Everton. He's not a title-winning centre-back over 40 games of the season. I think we're going to go with Bailly and Smalling, and I think that is potentially quite an exciting pair because they get both very tall, both fast, and both fairly decent on the ball, and both quite intelligent players when it comes to playing the offside trap, but having the recovery pace to get back, which we've seen with Bailly and Smalling. Tisay Singh, Blind is not a centre-back man, not at all. Mark, what happened with the Adidas advert? Adidas said they would do, says Tarkan. I'm sure that Adidas advert is going to hit. 100%. I'm sure that will hit at some point, maybe tomorrow. It's definitely in the works. We know Adidas have said hold off for it. The Man United one hasn't been released yet, and I'm convinced it will have Pogba in it. Maybe even Zlatan in it. I know that's an outside bet, but let's just wait and see. 1,000 likes for Pogba would be nice. If people want to hit the like button on the video, that would be great. 9 p.m. it will be announced. You heard it here first, says Stephen Bartlett. Well, unfortunately, Stephen, we didn't hear it there first. A lot of people are saying it, but I really hope it does happen because it'd be great to be live on air when it does happen. And Mohammed Saeed saying 9 p.m. as well. Let's hope so. Which number will Pogba be? I think he'll be number 6. Wembley officially been out, says Tozit. We don't know. Marek says, Mark, the way Real Madrid treated Gareth Bale was disgusting. I'm glad we shot them in the foot. Laugh out loud. That's Real Madrid for you. I mean, 6 rival fans dislike. Mark, would you play Pogba and Herrera with Schneiderlin? Yeah, but you'd be dropping Rooney then from number 10, I suppose, which is I don't know. Rooney's just not going to be dropped, is he? Find someone on Twitter that said it was 9 p.m. before me, Mark, says Stephen Bartlett. I tell you what, should we spend the next 12 minutes doing that? No, we won't do. The midfield will be, until Jose gets the balls to either sort Rooney out or drop him, the midfield will be Carrick, Pogba and Rooney at 10. That's what it's going to be. He's got to get Mkhitaryan in that team, though, as soon as possible, because we are not feeding Martial and Zlatan enough. And Lingard can't score individual goals every week. 10 p.m. announcement, says Marek. I can't see that. I've never known an official announcement that late. I think 9 o'clock is pretty much, we're pretty much moving into the next 10 to 20 minutes where I think it will be the upper ceiling for United to announce it officially. And I do think that I'd probably be leaning towards, well, let's see what happens at 9 o'clock. We're live on air. There's plenty of us watching. But I'd probably be leaning towards the morning now because they want the ultimate hit on it. And a lot of people will be watching the Olympics now, as sad as that sounds. Mark, what do you think about Jose saying Fellaini is important? It makes me sick, you know. I hate to be blunt, but it makes me sick. I have no time for Marion Fellaini in a Manchester United shirt. He makes me physically sick when he wears it. I don't really care what people think about that. I've been saying it for 2 years. I don't like him as a footballer. I don't like what he stands for, literally. I just don't like him as a footballer in a Man United shirt. And the sooner he gets sold, the better. I can't move away from that. Otherwise, I'm a total hypocrite. So if he scores goals for Manchester United, great. But I don't want him to be there. Dave Pulton saying it has to be announced before the stock market closes in New York, which I think is 9 p.m, isn't it? Maybe might be slightly later because they're 5 hours behind us. So we're approaching 10 to 4, 3. Yeah, 10 to 4. So who knows? Alex Glover says, just shut up. You'll be silenced when we win the league. Didn't say we're not going to win the league, Alex. All I've said is that I don't like Fellaini in a Manchester United shirt. I think that's nothing to do with us winning the league. I'm very confident that we're going to do well in this league because I think Jose doesn't believe in second place. And I think that some of the signings have been fantastic. If you're asking, if we want to win the league, the team for me has got to be get rid of every player that's going to cost us points because they're out of position. So I would have De Gea in goal. For the moment, I'd have Darmian right back because he's a right back. I'd have Smalling and Bailey centre-backs because they're centre-backs. Obviously, Luke Shaw as left-back. I'd put Carrick or Schneiderlin in the defensive midfield role, or Schweinsteiger, but he's going to go. I'd put Pogba as number 8 with Herrera back up. I'd put Mkhitaryan at number 10 because I think he's the best number 10 we've got. I'd put Martial on the left. Zlatan up front, and to be totally honest with you, I'd go and sign a right midfielder, but I don't think we will. So for the moment, we're struggling. I don't know who would put on the right midfield, so I'll probably have to put Mkhitaryan there and gamble on Rooney or put Mata at 10. But that at least you've got players playing in position. I don't think Lingard over 38 games will be good enough to win us the title. I really don't. I think he's going to be a good squad player, like Daley Blind as well, and a couple of others. But Jose said it himself. I'm a firm believer that you've got to have specialists. And, yesterday, for whatever reason, some people even came out with theories which were quite interesting that maybe was, leaning towards the players who got us the FA Cup final. I think that's nonsense, to be honest, but I hope there's some truth in it. But the reality is Valencia was out of position. Blind was out of position. Mata came on the right wing, out of position. Fellaini was playing defensive midfielder, out of position. So that's 4 players out of position. Again, if we start with that same team against Bournemouth, what's different to Van Gaal other than we won't be playing 2 defensive midfielders and we'll be far more exciting, but we're still playing. I don't know why Jose would want to do that because playing Blind as a centre-back was Van Gaal's thing. Playing Valencia at right-back was Van Gaal's thing. Playing Fellaini in the midfield was Van Gaal's thing. Playing Mata on the right midfield was Van Gaal's thing. I can't see Jose wanting to replicate that when he could simply play people in the right positions and get a lot of credit for it. So we'll see. Mark, why do you always shake when a goal is scored? Don't know. I didn't know I did, Kieran. So thanks for that. Darren Davidson, do you think we'll sign any more players? Yeah, I think we'll sign Fabinho from Monaco. George Mendes is his client, same agent as Marino. We haven't brought anybody in from Mendes yet, which is quite surprising. Interestingly, I think West Ham are trying to get James Rodriguez, £70 million. I don't think Madrid will want to sell us anybody, but I would still take James Rodriguez because I think he's a number 10, isn't he? Or he's a right midfielder. And I think we do need one, because I think Mkhitaryan looks good as a number 10. And then if you play him there, we need a right midfielder. I do, but I think Rooney's going to keep playing for a while, isn't he? Jonathan Hallam says there'll be no more signings. Ali Riaz says Fabinho is shocking defensively. I personally think that he's quite decent. 9:27 p.m. says Craig Farrell. I would say 9:30 tonight is totally the upper limit. I don't know who caught that, because there's loads of people on the comments tonight, but Mark, we won't sign anyone unless we get rid of a few. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, just because I'm really hoping that something will happen at 9 p.m. But just for those who've contributed to the United Stand through our Patreon page, which you can do on the link below, most people are like contributing a couple of dollars a month. And for that, you get to ask a question and get a shout out live on air. And we've had a couple of new people who've put questions out. So I just need to read them out, and everyone else can give their comments as well. The first one from, where is it gone? William NG says, how would you compare James Rodriguez with Isco as attacking midfielder for United? Which is, well, he's paid to have his question, hasn't he? So he'll get it. But I would go James Rodriguez. I mean, Isco is a decent player, but I like James Rodriguez. I don't think he's been used correctly at Real Madrid. I mean, this is another reason why I don't like Real Madrid, because I think they totally misuse their players. So, yeah, I'd like James Rodriguez to come in, because then you've got options across all three attacking midfield positions, because he can play all three of those. He can also play box-to-box at a push. But I think as a number 10, he'd be pretty useful. And then you've got Mkhitaryan out on the right. But that means no Rooney. And I just don't think that's going to happen this season. I don't know what you lot think. Somebody saying James got fat. James has a bit more to his game than Isco, says Red Devil Danny. Isco is more technical than James. James is more direct, says Joel Merry. Very good point, which is why I prefer James. Renato Sanchez would have been a perfect fit in the current Man United squad, says Lucano Gill. I think if Jose had come in sooner and United had been a bit more, had a more backbone with Van Gaal, because Van Gaal didn't want Sanchez, and Bayern Munich even admitted that United should have got Sanchez. If we got Sanchez, we wouldn't have got Pogba. So I put it to you, whack your comments out there now. Who would you prefer, Renato Sanchez or Pogba? Because we wouldn't have got both. No way would we have got both. And for me, I was disappointed about Renato Sanchez because I liked the look of him. But every day of the week, I'd go Pogba. I'm just waiting to see what people want to say. Yeah, Giovanni Enrique says Pogba. Pogba. The one Sanchez there from Silam, but the majority, yeah, it's 90% Pogba, which is what I was going to thought, what I was thinking of really. So yeah, and we wouldn't have got both. So blessing in disguise, really. Incompetence of Van Gaal and Woodward on that occasion actually was a blessing in disguise. And William Lockhart is our next new Patreon, and he says, been watching the show for over a year. It's great to see how it's developed. Sensual viewing, and I've always been a United fan, but the moment I became in love with the club was when Cantona scored that goal and just turns the side, chest pumped, looking intense and arrogant like a boss. I think he's talking about that chip. That's when I was hooked. I know you say you were introduced to the club by your granddad, but what moment, if you can remember, made you sit up and notice and pledge your undying soul to the greatest club in the world? Many people do. Many people do pledge their undying soul to Manchester United. It's a very good question. It's a very good question. And I'm glad we've started doing these Patreon things. And if you want to contribute to the United Stand, please do, because it does help us. And we will read you your questions out and give you a shout out as well. I mean, what's your moment that, really made you fall in love with Manchester United? I'm sure we've all got one. I think for me, I've got to, my granddad got me to support Manchester United because of his love of that man on the end there, Duncan Edwards and the Busby Babes. And it was a very different world I grew into what you've got now. You've got YouTube, you've got DVDs, Blu-ray, whatever like that. When I grew up, it was all VHS video, like in the late 80s. And what I do remember is I used to come in from the school. My granddad and my uncles were builders. They had their own business. So they'd normally finish by about 3 o'clock. So when I was finishing at school, especially in the winter, because it gets dark, they'd be home already. And they had like loads. I remember they had the Brazil 70 VHS. They had the history of Manchester United on VHS, and loads and loads of videos, Busby Babes and all that lot. And I just remember, I would be quite young, probably 6, 7. So you'd come in and be watching that. And I just remember one occasion, we probably watched it hundreds of times, but I remember one occasion we was watching this video on the Busby Babes, and it was all about the crash, and there was a couple of minutes about Duncan Edwards, and I just looked at my granddad and I could see, he wasn't crying, but his eyes were welling up, and he was such a powerful man, rest in peace. And, he was like the figurehead of the family. And to see him like that about football in general, but also Duncan Edwards and Manchester United, it gives me goosebumps now. And that's what got me into, really Manchester United, because I've never ever seen anything, it's like your biggest hero, which he was to me, totally in awe and emotionally involved with something like that. I think it's something we all aspire to. And I've had a couple of moments as a United fan. That's what got me into United. But I always say about the '99 European Cup, I was in my late teens at the time. Was I? Probably 16, 17. And so I was out old enough to drink. I was at a house party in Ireland. About 40 or 50 of us in there, all supposedly Man United fans. I tell you what, you find out what a real United fan is when it's into stoppage time and you're about to lose the treble, and there's only 2 or 3 of you who are absolutely distraught. But the Solskjaer goal gave it. I know Sheringham's goal won it, but the Solskjaer goal is the best goal I've ever experienced as a Man United fan, because it was like we were back in the game and you thought it was lost. Not the Solskjaer goal won it. The Sheringham goal was the goal that was the best goal, because I think I leapt about 10 yards. I was on the edge of a sofa. I jumped a coffee table, which I caught and twisted my ankle. But there was no pain for 2 days because it was elation. And I remember sitting down on Malahide Marina with a big bottle of whiskey and a massive cigar. And it was just a fantastic. But that goal, that moment, was just a release, because I was just so depressed that we weren't going to win the treble. So yeah. It was Solskjaer who won it, says Brendan. It was Sheringham who equalised. So I had nothing left for the Solskjaer goal. Everything came out, and then Solskjaer scored, and it was like, yeah, I got up and celebrated. But the Sheringham goal won it, really, because Bayern Munich were just dead after that, and you knew we had the momentum into extra time, which is where a lot of us thought it was going to go. But a long-rounded question to that: has he signed? Let's have a look. Has he signed? That's what we're waiting for. I don't think he has, and I really don't think he will be tonight if it's not going to happen in the next few minutes. Nothing at the moment. Nothing at the moment. But he is in and around Manchester. It's interesting because we know he's done his medical, and he is in and around Manchester. So we'll hang on for a few minutes if people want us to hang on. We've got lots of people watching. Why not? There's nothing anywhere, says Dave Poulton. Early tomorrow, says Atik, which I think is fair enough. Ryan says, someone do the math. We have his age now. I've always said I'm mid-30s. It's just people, I play along with the game because some people think I'm mid-20s or, even 20, which is fantastic. But I didn't even, the thing is, I didn't even use oil of Eula every day. I was doing a tough paper round from the age of about 11 to 17. I don't know why I look so youthful, but yeah, I'm well into my 30s. So, in fact, I'm the senior citizen in the United stand now, because Kevin Martin, I think, are early 30s, and obviously Alex is about 10. No, I think he's mid-20s. So, yeah. But the United theory, I must be really bad if you think he's better than me. Who is your favourite player in United at the moment, says Salim Hussein. So I've told you what got it into me. I enjoyed that question. It was really good. I tell you what, not only to contribute to the United stand, but please do contribute through the Patreon link, because some of the questions we're getting is great, which is great. My favourite player in the United squad at the moment, difficult. It's really difficult because, I don't buy the shirts. The most important thing to me is the fans, the club, and the badge, and I'll keep saying that because it is. And I'm probably a little bit older to idolise players anymore, especially when I'm older than nearly every one of them. I do like Michael Carrick. It'd be sad when he goes. He wasn't very good yesterday. He is on the decline because of age, but I've always liked Carrick. He reminds me a lot of the way I used to play football, although I'm a lot quicker than him and I could run past players as well. But I do like Michael Carrick. I'd say Carrick's probably my favourite player, yeah. I think in a sexy sort of way, if I was being, a little bit mercenary, I'd say Pogba really excites me. I love Zlatan. Zlatan, I don't know what people think about Zlatan, but he's the sort of player that if he was playing for PSG and it was on a Wednesday night, I'd watch PSG just to watch him. I really enjoyed the Euros watching Sweden, because as bad as they were, he keeps my attention for 90 minutes, Zlatan, because he didn't have a great Euros, but I really do like him as well. I think he's a fantastic player. I think we're so lucky to have him. So Fellaini's my favourite, says Robert Reed. Hate Zlatan, says Stephen Smith. Obviously not a United fan. No, I do love him. The medical will take 2 to 3 days, says Dance Fever. I've heard this a few times. I think it's absolute ridiculous, but apparently the BBC are saying it as well now, and Sky said it. So that's ridiculous. He's going to really struggle to be involved in the Bournemouth game if he's going to be messing around with medicals till Thursday. But that is life. I'm tempted to end the show, but I just don't want to. I'd love to be on air if it was official, and it's not official, is it? It's not official. What do you think? Should we carry on for a few more minutes, or should we kill it? I'm happy to stop on for a few more minutes if people want us to. If you've got other things to do, don't worry about it. But let's just see. Get off there and get back onto YouTube so I can see what you're actually saying, because there might not be anybody left. Slow. A few people were asking about United Stand Extra Time. I appreciate that some people from other countries can't even subscribe to it anyway at the moment, which we're asking YouTube to sort out for us. We do it every Sunday after the Sunday show, and it was fantastic last night. So if you want to get involved with it, we are carrying it on. You get 2 weeks free trial anyway. So, I think all these links are in the video description. And if you want a question read out and a shout out, you do that through Patreon. If you want to go join us on the United Stand Extra Time, it's a quieter live comments box, which means we can virtually answer every question. And please do like the video. That's very good from Charlie Ty. Almost 40k mark, says MA7 Football. I think we've gone past 39,000 subscribers today, which is fantastic. When you've watched this video, if you haven't watched Winter is Coming, it's obviously on the United Stand channel. It's the video before this. People seem to like that. It's had over 1,000 likes already. I think it's had 10,000 views within about 3 hours. So people are really buying into that. I really did sort of build myself up before I did that, because I wanted it to be passionate. I wanted it to demonstrate how important I think this is. And there's even a clip from a year ago when I said that winter would come. So collectively, people always say, what's this winter is coming thing? And I think it's really nice, because it's only United Stand viewers know what winter is coming means, and Game of Thrones viewers. But it's basically winter is coming is that Real Madrid and Barcelona have had this domination for so long. They're in a nice warm climate. And I think I said it a year ago when they tried to get De Gea, and I thought they were going to get De Gea. I had a rant and I said, one day Real Madrid, winter is going to come. It's going to come. It's going to come in the form of a hell of a lot of money in the Premier League, and you won't be able to deal with us. And the players that you want to come will be coming to England, will be coming to Manchester United, because you just won't be able to afford it. And within a year, actually, it happened. I didn't know it was going to happen this summer. I thought it was going to happen in the next 2 or 3 years. So that is fantastic. Go and watch that video as well. But loads of things to get involved with. When we hit 40,000 subscribers, we will be doing the story of the United Stand, because loads of people have asked us to do that. So might not be your cup of tea, but we will do it. But the Guardian are reporting that he has passed the medical, says Black Tide XD. Yeah, I'm thinking more and more that it's going to be tomorrow morning now. I don't know what you lot think. And I think, a morning thing sort of fits in with everything, doesn't it? Because they get a whole day to MUTV did pretty much confirm it would be tonight, says Danny Thomas. I thought that as well. Farley says, Mark, you should remember us when you hit 1 million subs. Well, I don't think we're ever going to hit 1 million subs. If we hit 100,000 subscribers, that would be sensational. But we've been doing these videos with 50 people watching and less than 100 subscribers, and those people have been there from the start. They'll know this. We've never changed. We've always said what we think collectively, and we've always appreciated you lot, and that's not going to change at all. So we won't be changing, and we'll always be independent. James Ode says this is reminding him of the Falcao deal. Well, if any of you can remember a deal that was so late, let us know. I remember Schweinsteiger being announced last year and doing a video at about 11 o'clock at night, but he wasn't officially announced. It was the old United Stand reacting to what's going to be a done deal. So 10 at night he will be here, says Ryan Hopkins. I can't see us doing it that late. It doesn't make sense. We're breaking a world transfer record. You want optimum impact. And I don't think 10 o'clock at night is. Carlisle Robertson, United Stand, Cape Town fan club. Boosh. Be great to have some fan clubs around the world, wouldn't it? Abid says sell to a media company. No, it's never going to happen. What's the point in doing that? You lose it then. Marino said he will aim to be at the training complex tomorrow. Man United will announce Paul Pogba transfer tomorrow, says the Telegraph. That's Mateus Gustafsson. Never have we made a major announcement at 9 p.m. before. We won't start today. It'll be mid-afternoon tomorrow. My guess is about 5 p.m. from Stephen Smith. There was an announcement, wasn't there, that was around 9 o'clock, and it was either Jose as Man United manager, but I think it was actually Van Gaal sacked, wasn't it? I think we were live at about 6 o'clock, and then we went off air and said we'll be back when it's official, and I'm sure it was about 9 o'clock for Van Gaal sacking. But a signing, I'd agree that doesn't normally happen. I'm going to go for 5 more minutes because then it's a 45-minute video. And I don't mind doing that if people are happy with it. What I would say is if he signs tonight, don't worry. I'll be back on it like a carb on it, so don't worry about that. If it's in the day tomorrow, we'll get a video up. I don't think I can be live tomorrow. Pogba's official already, so I don't care when they announce it, says Al Diogo. Well, if you follow United Stand, he's been official for a month, hasn't he? So we've been enjoying it for a month. And I did say 2 weeks ago, sit back and enjoy the build-up to it, because it's definitely going to happen. Definitely going to happen. Dublin sends its regards, says Jules King. I really want to get over to Dublin again. Obviously, I lived there for 3 years. I haven't been there. I can't remember the last time I was there. I think it was Christmas before last. My best mate lives over there, so I love it. Maybe if we got really big, I could. You could pay for me to go over to Dublin on a flight, and then I could do like a United little Q&A talk, and then we can all go on the pod. Get a Dublin United Stand fan club. We'll bring a few of us over. I'm liking the sound of that. And I'm being very, very, I'm talking bollocks because that would never happen, by the way. I would do it, but I just don't think we'd get anyone. Come on, United and Pogba. Ed and Jose, the best combo. They've done fantastic, as we said at the start of the video. Tell Madrid to shut up, says King K official. El Diego, does United Stand extra time cost? Yeah, it's a couple of quid a month, and it's an extra thing anyway. So if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. But we do it every Sunday after the Sunday show, and the live comments is far more interactive. We were talking about Walking Dead and Game of Thrones last night, me and Alex. So it's just a way of trying to bring a bit of revenue in, so we can get better things for the channel, and also give you something extra. Because I said this the other day, there's a podcast, not United Stand. There's a podcast out there who do one podcast a week, who are on Patreon, and their viewers or listeners are contributing about £2,000 a month. So, if you want the United Stand to go full time, which is our aim, then you can contribute to it, can't you, through Patreon or United Stand Extra Time? We've got to try and do that, because then I think, things would just go up to a whole other level. We'd have a lot more content than we do now. I think we do quite well, though. I think we do quite well. Robbing our money, says Random Gaming. Yeah. Who cares about the price, says the Jake Bull. Whoop, Pogba isn't coming. It's actually Di Maria, says Fras. I tell you what, there's at Manchester Airport, if you're following them on Twitter, they were fantastic today. They tweeted out that somebody just landed, which was obviously Pogba, but they didn't say. I replied and said, is it Schneider? Because obviously, that's quite funny. But a journalist from Manchester Evening News said, I bet it's Louis van Gaal. And Manchester Evening Post, Manchester Airport came back straight away with, no, we can confirm the plane didn't move sideways, which was proper banter, which I thought was really funny. And they followed it up with something else as well. Captain AD's just joined our Patreon page. Thanks, AD. Links in the description. Make sure you put a question on there in the notifications, and we'll read it out for you tomorrow on the show. That's just reminded me, bloody hell, I've totally forgotten about this. Tomorrow night, there is a new channel on Sky 212 called Fan TV starting. It's going to be on every single night, Monday to Friday, 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock. Tomorrow night, they're featuring Manchester United. I'll still be doing my show as per usual, but straight after that, I'm going live via Skype on Fan TV between 9 and 10 o'clock. So what I'll do tomorrow is I'll put the link in the video description, because it will also be live on YouTube. So you can all go straight over onto that. Chris Tarrantson's a presenter. There's a nice looking girl. I don't know what her name is. Hopefully she'll be interviewing me tomorrow as well. And Justin Lee Collins, if anyone remembers him from the Alan Carr show. Oh, Chris Wood, it's on Virgin as well. I'll find it all out and it'll all be up tomorrow. But we are on Fan TV, which is a new video tomorrow, and hopefully we will be on there quite regularly. So do get involved in Fan TV. It's I was there last Wednesday when I was in London, and it's a fantastic idea, and it is all going to be about fan content. It won't be all United. You know, some nights I think there's Leicester, Villa, Newcastle, and United tomorrow. I think the next night they're doing Arsenal and a few others. So they're going to feature lots of clubs. So you don't need to watch it every night. Watch the United stand every night. But when they're doing United stuff, we'll let you know. Go over there and watch it, because we're never going to coincide. We've said that we will try and do that. So watch it tomorrow. 212 I think is the thing, Graham Glass. But as long as you're watching us tomorrow, as long as you're watching United stand tomorrow night, we'll take you over to wherever you need to be, whether you want to watch it on Sky or Virgin, or if you haven't got that, you can go and watch it on YouTube. They have got a YouTube channel to subscribe to as well, which would be fantastic, because I think it's going to be a really revolutionary thing, and hopefully the United Stand are going to be involved in it, which would be great, because we've never worked with anybody before. We've never had that opportunity to work with somebody else before. So I think that's great. And obviously the United Stand Army, if we think it's worth supporting, and I think it is. Stormzy on Facebook, what are you all saying? What are you all saying about Stormzy on Facebook? Do you want me to have a look at what Stormzy's saying on Facebook? Adidas. Okay, there's a video here that I'm just looking at now. Stormzy, friend of Pogba, post a video. Do you hear it? He's got Pogba. Pogba is in a Manchester United shirt. I don't know why I'm bopping my head, because this is not my sort of music at all. But it's just more, isn't it? It's more that he's coming. So I'll tell you what, I can retweet that as well. I'll retweet it off our page. I've retweeted it off our page. So yeah, I'm starting to think, will they announce it tonight now? I don't think they will. But just a little bit more, isn't it? Little by little. Where's my comments gone? Mark's having a raid. That's Ormton stop. Yeah, probably. He's, as John Fleming says there, we've known for a long time that it's confirmed, isn't it? It's just we are waiting for it. David Wilson says, watch the end, you oaf. Oh, David. Yeah, first never follows. Pogba and the back of an Adidas shirt. It's official. We know it's official, but I think the real official is when Manchester United announce it, isn't it? That's what we're waiting for. He had number 7, did he? I didn't see that. You're making me go back, because that's an exclusive if it's true, but I imagine it's not. I can't see a number on. But you can see Pogba. Thank Demarcio, says Randy Gershon. That's a very good point. It was in my head a little bit ago. But if we got Mbolo wrong, Demarcio didn't. He clearly has a link into Manchester United. I've been saying that for about 2 months now. He knew that Mourinho was coming to Manchester United months ahead. He knew Van Gaal was going to be sacked days ahead. He knew that Bailly was coming to us days ahead. He knew Mkhitaryan, Zlatan, days and weeks ahead. He's known Pogba weeks ahead. He's getting his information from the club, because no journalist is ever 100% right. And in relation to Manchester United, he has been 100% done. So I'm going to pop off now. I'm going to go and do a little bit around robin. And if it's official, I will be back. So keep an eye out, because what I'm going to do is actually, we have got an official video ready, and I'll open it up in a moment, and let's just see what happens. I might be back live tonight for all you know. But thanks everybody for watching. Do drop us a like if you want to get involved with your questions on the channel. Just contribute through Patreon or United Stand Extra Time, whatever. It's up to you. And don't forget to join us tomorrow night. Big night for the United Stand. We'll be on here Pogba's obviously going to be announced, but also we'll be jumping onto Fan TV, which I think is going to be really interesting for you all to watch. So thanks everybody for watching. Hopefully I might be live again in a few minutes, but we'll have to wait and see. But brilliant on the live comments as usual. Really enjoyed that. Very relaxed video, just to stay on for 20 minutes longer than we thought we would. And I shall speak to you all later.